Authorities in Branson say none of the 31 passengers were wearing a life jacket when the Ride the Ducks boat sank at Table Rock Lake, leading to 17 people losing their lives last week. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we're learning more about the design of the duck boats from a man who inspected some of those boats just last year. He tells 5 on Your Side's Rachel Menitoff that he made several suggestions to improve safety. Rachel's live downtown in St. Louis to explain why those changes may not have been made. Rachel?
Mike, Stephen Paul does vehicle inspections and appraisals. He has a checklist of 400 plus items that he looks at underneath the hood, around the back of the car, and underneath the car. And last August, he got a phone call from the company that owns Ride the Ducks in Branson, Missouri, asking if he'd do an inspection of their vehicles to see if they'd stand up against Department of Transportation standards.
One of the things that we do during an inspection is obviously check the fluids.
He's been doing this most all of his life. Stephen Paul is the owner of Test Drive Technologies. He looks at all kinds of cars, trucks, and has even inspected Ride the Ducks vehicles in Branson, Missouri.
A couple of the things that I noted right off the bat was that the exhaust is forward of the passenger compartment. The exhaust on the Ducks actually comes out the very front of the boat, and it also comes out below the water line.
Paul explains that the Department of Transportation requires that the exhaust be behind the area where passengers sit. And the problem when it's installed below the water line is that water can get caught in the exhaust and the duck boat can lose engine power.
I can't say what the condition of the ducks are today, obviously, but I can say that when I submitted my report to them, I didn't get any feedback. It was pretty much a thank you for your report and here's your payment.
Paul inspected the boats in August of 2017. He says Ripley Entertainment, the owners of the duck boats, were in the midst of purchasing them, and they wanted to see how they would fare according to the DOT. It's important to note, though, that the DOT does not regulate duck boats in the state of Missouri. It's the U.S. Coast Guard, which did say the boats were good to go.
My heart sinks.
Paul says he hopes these two departments combine their efforts for more consistent supervision on the water.
If there's one thing that I hope comes out of this accident, the terrible tragedy, is that the two regulators come together.
Paul didn't examine the actual ship, but he also expressed concerns about the bad weather and the canopy that many of us have seen in those videos that he feels could have trapped people inside the boat. Mike?
Rachel, thanks. Victims